and Surrounds branch of Unite.
That's right, Lou. You know me very well. I have to say, I'm glad that actually fell down, because all of you would be looking at that banner rather than me. So I think that's a very positive move. We can also think of that as the crumbling imperialist state that has come to power, and it's gonna go. So I'm glad that's gone. You can listen to me or fall asleep, whatever you think is best. War and climate change. So I'm, as Lou says, I'm the chair of Unite the Union, Brighton and Surrounds. The trade union movement is a critical part of the anti-imperialist movement and a critical part of the climate justice movement. Military spending, I think in the UK, is the third highest worldwide. No experts will correct me on that if I'm wrong. That's about £1,600 per household per annum spent on arms. BAE's profit went up 17% to 2.7 billion last year. That's just a profit. That's not the revenue, that's their profit. So war is a key issue for workers. Real wages are stuck at £12 per week lower than they were in 2008. So there's a transfer of resources. Why is there a transfer of resources? It's being transferred from the NHS, from our schools, from our hospitals, from socially useful institutions, things that we could actually make a difference to each other, and it's being put towards arms manufacturers. Not only is that morally wrong, it's financially wrong as well, and we must stop that. What role can we play? What role can people in this room play? That's really why I'm here. Who here is in a trade union? Okay, I can see some of you, and some of you aren't putting your hands up, okay? There's no reason not to be in a union. We organise industrially, we organise outside of industry. If you're not in a job at the moment, if you're retired, or if you haven't got a job, or you don't feel that you can work at the moment, you can be part of the trade union movement. We have what's called Unite the Community. Active outside in our community, active trying to build campaigns and to link up with the campaigns we've got with GNDR and other fantastic organisations who will make a difference to the world. It's about £2 a month. Come and see me afterwards if you're not in the union. There's no reason not to be. You have to make a difference to the world, you really do. So please, that's one thing you do, join a union. What is the role, once you've all joined, which you will by the end of the day, once you've joined, what are we going to do? Well, we will fight within our unions. There is a struggle within the unions. There are unionists, trade unionists, who frankly don't see any role for our struggle for climate justice and to fight against the arms industry. And there are people like me. I work with the Communist Party, I work with Young Communists, I work with Greens, I work with Socialists, I work with people who just are apolitical, but are involved in the climate justice movement. We will work with anyone who wants to build a united left to make a difference. That's what we want to do. So within our unions, there is an important struggle to take place. Our 2016 conference, we passed a fantastic motion to argue for a just transition, not only in the arms manufacturing, but within part of the climate justice movement. That was fought hard within the trade union, with our own trade union, Unite the Union. Other struggles have happened over the decades. In the 1970s, our trade unionists refused to build jet engines for Pinochet's fascist regime. Even now, worldwide, you will find trade unionists who refuse to arm or load ships bound for Israel. And that is the right thing to do. That's the purpose of being part of a trade union movement. Whether you're in industry or whether you're part of our community, we can do this together. That's the point of what we're doing. We're trying to link up with people. Outside of our structures, there are two ways forward. There's official structures, which is the Trade Union Congress. So we're part of the Trade Union Congress. We join together with other trade unions. Within the Trade Union Congress are unions that I call reactionary. They are, okay? They want funding for the arms industry, and they don't see a purpose to us trying to stop that. 2002, we suffered a defeat, okay? There was a motion put forward that we should increase arms spending, a disgusting motion. It was passed at the Trade Union Conference. through lobbying and through the left and from people like you, activists, all of whom are going to be active from today onwards within the trade union movement, we changed the position. 2024, we have a new motion that negates the 2022 motion and wants to commit to changing arms spending, to reducing arms spending, and to fight for climate justice. So that's a good thing. That's people making a difference within the trade union movement. Everyone here can do that. You can all be part of that. But that's the formal structures. Outside of our union are informal structures as well. We have the fantastic Stop L3 Harris campaign. Brilliant direct action, which is what we want. We have Stop the War, another fantastic organisation locally and nationally that you can all be involved in. And to make a difference, our trade union luckily our trade union has plenty of resources, for another reason to get involved. We have plenty of resources, and we can donate to organisations like this that make a difference. Our union has £1 billion within its pension fund. £1 billion. It has hundreds of millions of pounds, and those resources should be used to make a difference and to stop warmongering and to make a difference to the climate justice movement. So outside the unions, we have the formal route, which is the TUC, fantastic, let's keep fighting, and the informal route. We have L3 Harris, we have linking up with other groups such as GNDR and to embolden and to encourage each other. I want to come on to the third thing I want to talk about today, and that is trying to join these movements together. And that's what we have to do, and it's fantastic to hear from GNDR about how we're trying to link together. We need to link together activists, trade unionists, academics, people who want to make a difference. Not many of you know, but some of you will know that 2026 is the 50th anniversary of what was called the Lucas Plan. Now, the Lucas Plan was shop stewards within Lucas Aerospace, where I worked for a short time, and we tried to have a plan to make it to diversify from arms manufacturing towards socially useful products. Now, that plan, we didn't make much progress. We made some progress. Left Labour MPs were fantastic. They supported us, but it's really got to come up from the bottom upwards. There is no reason why we can't have Lucas Plan, or whatever you want to call it, Lucas Plan 2026, where we push arms manufacturers to transfer from arms manufacturing to socially useful products. So that's a plan for our future. I'm going to finish with, what can we do? Well, we can do a lot. We've already talked about them. We can connect with each other. You can all join a union. You can all be involved in our union. We can take direct action, something we don't talk enough about. Getting on a picking line, supporting each other, getting up to L3 Harris. At Port Slade today, we tried to shut down a supplier to L3 Harris. All of that pressure is important. Marching, encouraging each other, talking to each other, emboldening each other, having a network where we feel strong together. Come on the march. Whatever date was it? 28th of, what's the next march? 30th of March, 20th of November, 28th of November, we have a workplace day of action. We want people to do something in their workplaces. Come and talk to me afterwards, please, about doing something in your workplace or getting involved in that. We must make a difference. But even more importantly, a few months ago, we set up, I'm sorry to rattle through this quickly, we've only got 10 minutes and Lou's looking at me, but we set up a network for trade unions to connect with each other, whereby we make sure that our pension funds aren't used for arms manufacturing and aren't used for destruction of the environment. And we're going to use the local government pension scheme as our first port of call to try and put pressure on the local authorities not to invest the hundreds of millions, probably billions of pounds to destroy our world. So that's something, again, we have to do, and we'll work together for that. Why are we doing this? Well, I probably shouldn't need to tell you, but we're doing this because, and I feel strongly about this, when there is war, you have a worker on both sides of a bayonet. There's always a baddie. The media will always tell you a baddie, and if there isn't a baddie, they will create one. Our compliant media, our compliant politicians will always scare people. They rely on hatred and fear and worry. And we're the opposite. We're people of the light. We want to connect with each other. We want to make a difference to the world. And I just have to say, oh, there you go. I've slightly overrun. But we have a world to win. And that's what we must do from today. We must create an environment where we want to try and work together and to be bold and strong and work for a better future. Thank you.